On the 16th of October 2015, the Luxembourg Presidency of the European Union hosted the agency's fourth hearing, entitled Inclusive Education, Take Action. 72 young people with and without disabilities had the opportunity to discuss how their schools and communities ensure an inclusive education for them and what potential obstacles they're still facing in their education and their day-to-day lives. Their call for action has been collected in the form of recommendations for policymakers, and they'll be presented to the Council of Ministers during the Education, Youth, Culture and Sport meeting on the 23rd of November 2015. The event gathered 250 participants and stakeholders from all the agency member countries, as well as policymakers and representatives from European and international institutions. The Luxembourg Minister for Education, Children and Youth, Claude Meisch, addressed the young people, stating that we need your contributions, let's take action. Martine Reichhartz, Director of the European Commission's Directorate General for Education and Culture, emphasised that within the Commission's strategic framework, Education and Training 2020, inclusion of all students into mainstream education is a stated priority, and that young people deserve concrete actions. In preparation for the event, the secondary education students representing 27 agency member countries had the opportunity to discuss key issues with their peers and teachers in their schools. The questions for discussion referred to ways in which their schools support them in their education, examples of how teachers and classmates take into account their needs, accessibility, class organisation, and suggestions for ways to overcome remaining barriers to inclusion. At the event in Luxembourg, young delegates shared their own personal experiences and transmitted their peers' messages as well. The aim of the event was to empower and ensure the involvement of learners in shaping educational policies. The young people made their voices heard in Luxembourg.
It is important that teachers know which strategies to use. Teachers need to be more attentive to younger students and recognize their needs early and support them early.
What is important is the cooperation amongst teachers themselves as well as teachers and pupils.
More respect and understanding for teachers. Involve students and parents in decisions.
Raise awareness about disabilities. No separate buildings and classes, so we can help each other. Having different levels in a classroom prevents bullying and support mutual understanding.
We should establish more common activities between students with and without disabilities. Such activities can help to get to know each other and could help the children without disabilities to understand the children with disabilities, as well as with the differences. This can support mutual understanding and mutual tolerance and respect from a young age.
How the school avoids and removes physical barrier. Elevators and stair climbers in many schools, but sometimes a key is needed that is not given to students. Materials and labels available in Braille, some materials available electronically. Accessible bathrooms available. Adapted materials are made available that suit the needs of learners. The decision to get a support teacher should be made by the student, the parents, and the teacher. Students are not always asked whether they want to be placed in a support class, but they should.
Avoid heavy bags and books and replace with e-books, equal access to everything.
And offering social and psychological support, a room to calm down, to take a time out.
We have selected a quote which summarizes this topic. Diversity is the mix. Inclusion is what makes the mix work.
Several messages have been repeated by the young people throughout the 4 hearings. Students called for schools without barriers, more teacher education, and more information and awareness raising for schools, communities, and society as a whole. They agreed that peer support among students is generally good, but it's crucial to be included in mainstream schools in order to be included in society. The young people's voices must be listened to and taken into account. Their discussions and recommendations constitute a body of knowledge from the perspective of learners with disabilities, which will influence the debate in Europe on how to implement inclusive education into practice. See the more detailed results online on the Take Action web area of the event and follow the news from the agency on its news section.
I will bring the Luxembourg recommendations established by young people and children with disabilities from all EU member states to the next Council of the EU Ministers for Education and Training.